Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. It is Sunday evening. Wanted to shoot this video for the beginning of the week. Yeah, the household is pretty quiet. It's a good time of the evening to shoot a video. No distraction, no noise. So thought I would arrange this and kind of highlight some things. I went to a local comic book shop on Saturday. I had to take my daughter to a Girl Scouts event. Gave me a couple hours to hang out at a local comic book shop that wasn't too far away, and I had more time than normal to spend at the shop. So I took some time to really dig into some of the back issues, and I did find some pretty cool comic book picks. So I'll kind of go over that with you here in a minute. Pulled out of my collection, these were two books on the top 10 list this week. Fisheye, I think, was number 10, so it barely made the list. This is a Scout comic book. Sure enough, I looked and I only bought the first issue. So I think at the time, Scout Comics was pretty new. They hadn't really produced that many books. And I thought, well, I'll give this a try. The cover looked pretty gory, so I was thinking, all right, this might be interesting. It's for mature readers. It was okay. I wasn't real impressed with it enough to continue buying it, obviously. So I just bought the first issue and that was it. But now that this book is, I guess it's going between $15 and $20 on eBay right now. It did get optioned. On my last top 10 video, I kind of went over the list and why I wasn't basically recommending buying this. I might put it on eBay and sell it. I mean, I'd rather use if I can get somebody to pay $15, $20 for this and I can use that money towards something else, that's a little bit more appealing to me than to keep this. So I guess that's a good thing. Once in a while, you buy these books, these issue number ones, and once in a while they can take off. So yeah, I'll probably end up selling this on eBay. See what I can get for it. Obviously, I'll get more than cover price for it, so that'll be good. So yeah, I dug that out. Fisheye number 1. Also, now this will be a book I will not sell. Ultimate Fallout number 4. On my last video, I had mentioned that I picked this up for around $40. It's a great book to have in your collection. Obviously, that Spider-Verse movie's coming out. That's going to give a little bit more attention to these type of characters. This is the first appearance of Miles Morales, and yeah, this is a really good condition book. This is probably a 9.6 or a 9.8. Really happy to have it in the collection. So I thought I'd pull that out just to kind of show that I have at least, I think this was number 9 on that top 10 list. So I'm glad to have that in my collection. All right, now let's jump into what I picked up at my local shop, and then I'll also highlight a few books that I received in the mail that I had purchased. But yeah, let me jump into some books that I picked up at the shop here that I'm really kind of happy to find them. Wasn't expecting to find them. Now, one of the best finds I found was Batman Arkham Knight number 1. This is the GameStop variant. And so it's still in the sealed poly bag, and this was only 10 bucks. I've already sold this for $50. So the cool thing about this is basically I sold this book for 50 bucks, and the rest of the books I'm going to show you, I got all of them for $53. So I sold this book and basically paid for all the rest. With the sale of this particular book. Now, why I didn't want to keep this long term? I mean, yeah, it's cool. It's a GameStop variant. I don't like the fact that it's in a poly bag, and it appears as though the demand is for this book to be in a sealed poly bag. So I tend to like books that are not in poly bags. They just present better when you put them in a MyLite, and that's one of the reasons I don't want to keep this. I understand it's rare, it's a GameStop variant, so of all the issues from this Batman Arkham Knight number 1, this might be the most rare. I don't know if that's a given yet. I do have the Gary Frank variant coming in the next week, so that one I'm going to hold long term in my collection, and that is a confirmed 1 for 25 variant. I have no idea how that compares to the GameStop. So maybe the GameStop is more rare. You know, maybe it isn't. I don't really know. There aren't very many sales on eBay of the Gary Frank cover, so it's hard to compare the two right now. But you know, this could be the more valuable one, the GameStop variant. But I'm okay with selling it. You know, it's just something the cover's good, but I just think that the Gary Frank one is a little bit more appealing to me, and it's a 1 for 25. It's a Marvel issued variant, whereas this is more of a, you know, store exclusive through GameStop. So yeah, I'm real happy to have found it for $10 though. I mean, selling this will pay for all the other books I'm about to show you. So well, let's dig into that. So that one will be sold. It's already been sold. I'll be shipping that out tomorrow. This was sitting on the shelf on Saturday, Immortal Hulk #2. This is the second printing, so I wasn't really aware. I knew the first print was a hot book. You know, that's like a $25, $30 book now if you look on eBay. It's the first appearance of Dr. Fry. And this is the second printing, which apparently is in the lower print run. And I only saw one for sale on eBay, and the seller was asking $20 for it. So I'm assuming this is at least a $15 to $20 book. You know, it was sitting on the shelf. It just, you know, there's a lot of people that don't know that Immortal Hulk is a great series, and these issues are starting to heat up. Even issue 3 and 4 are starting to, you know, climb in value. So, you know, this was one that I was really happy to find, just sitting on the shelf, and you know, it's like picking up 15, 20 bucks laying on the floor. So got it for cover price. Can't beat that. So real happy to have that. Now on the same topic of Immortal Hulk, I also saw sitting on the shelf were 3 copies of Immortal Hulk #3. I got all of these for cover price, and these are consistently selling, I'd say $10 to $12, maybe $15 maximum on eBay right now. So I might be able to flip these. I already have a copy of issue #3, so I might sell a couple of these. You know, try to get maybe $10, $12 for them. They're in great shape, and they were just still sitting on the wall. And I think as this series becomes more and more well known, you know, this issue #3 I think could definitely climb more in value. So I might sell 1 or 2 and keep an extra, so I'll maybe at least have 2 copies of issue #3. But I'm real happy to find that on the wall for cover price. Moving on, another book I found on the wall for cover price, which I was a little surprised, was Deadpool #5. You know, the week this came out, I had to like beg a shop owner to hold this for me. So I did get this for cover price originally. So I do have a copy of this already in my collection. But to find another copy sitting on the shelf, you know, what, a month after this book came out, more than a month for cover price, it's kind of amazing. I would have thought for sure that this book would not be available still at any local comic book shop, but there it was for cover price, so I picked it up. And, you know, it's going for $10, $12, $15 range, you know, more than triple what I paid for it. So I might put that for sale as well. I don't really need 2 copies of this book, but I might, you know, flip it and use that money for something else. So I'll probably put that for sale. Another one that the shop owner, I had called him and was able to get him to order this book for me. This was really hard to find. Midtown sold out of this book really quickly, and I've looked online through other websites, not been able to find it. You know, just very difficult to find. I have no idea if this book is going to be valuable. I don't see any recent sales on eBay. It did come out, a week ago. It does have a hot cover, so this was a book that was highlighted by a couple YouTubers. I know Jim's Comics has talked about it being just kind of a cool cover, and I'm kind of into conspiracy theories and all that, so I'm interested in reading it. I haven't read it yet. Zenoscope is the publisher. They mainly produce like grim fairy tales, those type of books. They're not a huge publisher, so I would imagine this is a B cover, and the print run on this is probably very, very low. So to be able to at least get one copy, I feel happy in having it. That goes into the personal collection. I just really love the cover. I just think I like a black cover and with the red and the eye, and I just think it's pretty cool. So yeah, if you happen to find this at one of your local shops, I would definitely pick it up if you can find it. I've just not seen this. I mean, this guy had to kind of like special order it for me to get me at least one copy, but still only paid cover price for it, so I was happy to get that. And another beauty that I found at that shop that I got a really good deal on was DC Nation number 0. This is the 1 in 500 ratio variant. So I think I picked up a couple DC Nation number 0s, the regular 25-cent cover. I had a couple of those originally, and I didn't really know about these ratio variants, but I was watching Jim's Comics. He was mentioning that this might be a good book to have. There's a first appearance of the person that becomes the Red Cloud that's now being highlighted in Action Comics. I think her first full appearance is in Action Comics 1005. So this is the first appearance of the character, or the person who becomes the Red Cloud. I can't remember her name. It's a female, but yeah, this is her first appearances in this. And this is the toughest ratio to get, 1 in 500. And I got this for $15. So I looked on eBay after I purchased it, and it looks like it's going consistently between $40 and $60, somewhere in that range. So I got it way, way, way below what it's selling for. So really, really happy to have it. It's kind of a cool cover. I think it's a Jorge Jimenez cover. I believe that's the artist. So it's pretty cool. I definitely like the cover. It's in really, really great shape, so I'll put that in the old personal collection, and you never know if that character becomes a bigger character in the DC universe. This will be definitely the first appearance. So glad to have that, and got the really great deal on that book. I did get my Midtown order, so I'll move the camera over here. You can see that's my I get a huge box. I mean, the last probably 3 or 4 months, my Midtown order has gotten out of control. I'm spending way more than I normally would. Just there's so many good books to get, so many great variant covers, and yeah, just I guess maybe it's the time of the year too. It makes me want to spend money on comic books. So one of the things I got in my Midtown order that I had ordered through Midtown was Black Order number 1. This is the In-Hook Lee variant. So I got this for $50 on Midtown, and it looks like on eBay it's selling consistently for, I don't know, anywhere from $125 to $175 in that range. So yeah, I'd say it's a $150 book that I got for $50. So I love the cover, the coloring, the artwork. It's In-Hook Lee at his best, no doubt about it. It's in fantastic shape. Real happy to have this. Put that into my light, and that will go into the personal collection. I don't plan on selling this book anytime soon. I love it. I think it's great, and I think the Black Order is pretty cool. And I also have the first appearance of the Black Order. I think that was New Avengers number 8 or 9. I think it was 8. So I do have that as well. So real happy to have that book in the collection. Another book that I got in the mail I had ordered on eBay was Black Hammer number 1. This is the 2017 San Diego Comic-Con variant. So there is a 2016 San Diego Comic-Con variant. That's the big one to get. It's really, really expensive. When I first started looking at Black Hammer a week or two ago, that book was around $200 in raw condition, and it looks like it's gone up even more. So I don't know if I'm going to buy that 2016 San Diego Comic-Con variant. This is the 2017, which is still, you know, limited print run. It's, you know, not in high production, but, you know, I think you can, I paid, I think, a little under $40 for this, and it's selling consistently around $40 to $50 on eBay. So I just think it's a good book to have. It's obviously a lower print run for the first issue, and kind of a cool cover. So I think the artist on that was Fabio. What was that his name? I think it was Fabio. Kind of a cool cover. I really love that series. I've been reading it. I think I'm on issue number 5 right now of it, so really, really happy with it. Another book that I got in the mail was the Batman Arkham Knight Genesis #1. My last video, I made a mistake. I think I had mentioned that Batman Arkham Knight #1 had a Jim Lee variant. That's not true. It's Batman Arkham Knight Genesis #1 has that Jim Lee variant. So need to establish that correction. This was something that I got off eBay for, I think I paid pretty low, yeah, maybe $15 for it. You know, it was a pretty good deal. I think it sells considerably more than that. I think normally it's between $25 to $30 for this book. It's a really, really cool Jim Lee cover. And, you know, they're bringing this character, the Batman Arkham Knight character, into Detective Comics in issue 1000. So, you know, you're seeing some heat on these Arkham Knight. Obviously, I highlighted the GameStop variant. That book is, you know, it was a $10, $15 book a couple weeks ago, and now it's going for $50, $60 easily. But this was one that I just liked the cover, and, you know, it's not the first appearance, but it's definitely a book that could get hotter if that character gets developed more. I think it's a good book to have in the collection. So, and I'm a big Jim Lee fan, so that's another reason for me to own it. Love it. Another one that I picked up this is Ogre #1. Now, I do have the regular Ogre #1 that came out about a month ago. This is Source Point Press. They are definitely becoming a more recognized publisher. One of the big books they came out with recently was The Source #1. That was instantly a $25, $30 book, I think, the week it came out. It's a really, really good story. And they've been hitting it out of the park. This ogre is a fantastic story. He's chained to the dead body of a man whose ghost is following him around. So it's really, really cool story. The first issue was great. I read it. I liked it. I can't wait to read issue number 2, which will be coming this week in my order. And, you know, the first issue sold out really, really quickly on Midtown. I was lucky to grab a copy, and I was looking on eBay, and I guess this was a variant that was issued directly by Source Point Press, and it's called the grayscale variant. So there's no color other than the blue outline there in the title, but it's all grayed, kind of like more of a black and white, but it's considered a grayed cover. And you can see here at the bottom, it's numbered out of 90. So this is number 49 out of 90. So there's only 90 copies of this book, which obviously it was a low print run with the normal issue #1. I think it was only a couple thousand printed. And with this is only 90. So this is a very, very low print run book. And I got it for, I think I paid around $40 for it. So, you know, I think it's $40, $50 book, which I think long term, if this gets developed into a TV show or a movie or something, you know, if it gets optioned, you know, this will easily be an $80, $100, maybe $100 book or more. So it's, you know, I don't plan on selling it ever, but it's a good book to have in the collection. I think there's some value that could definitely increase on this type of book. So, and I just love that it's a super low print run of only 90 copies. So really, really glad to have that in the collection. I do have a bunch of issue number 2s coming to me. I ordered them directly from Source Point Press. And I ordered some extras also from Forbidden Planet. That issue number 2, I think that's a really low print run. That might be below 2,000. So if you happen to find Ogre number 2 in a comic shop, I would definitely pick it up if I were you. So real quick, I also wanted to highlight some news here. Warner Brothers is rumored to be working on a Zatanna movie. I do have that entire, I think it was a 2011 run on Zatanna. It's a good run. It's an expensive run because there's a lot of the covers, the later issues of that run, I think it was 1 through 16. The last several issues were all the covers were all drawn by Adam Hughes. So it's a real popular comic series, and it's super rare. I mean, I've been to so many comic book shops. I've never ever been to a comic book shop that had back issues of Zatanna. Never have. The only place you can find it is maybe somebody on eBay that's willing to part with it from their collection. So Zatanna's a cool character. You know, she's in Justice League Dark. They're going to continue to use her in the DC universe, and the fact that they're going to make a movie on her is obviously going to heat up this character's earlier issues. So Hawkman number 4 is the first appearance of Zatanna, which came out in 1964. Pretty difficult book to find, especially in any grade. You know, mid-grade, I'd say a 5 to 6. You're looking at $400 to $500 for that book. Anything higher than a 6, you're looking at over $1,000 for her first appearance. So really, really expensive book, really hard to find. I mean, I've looked on eBay for the last few weeks, and it's just the condition. Trying to find that book anywhere near a 7 or higher is just really, really hard. You might be able to find a CGC book on there. You know, there's a couple 8s to 8.5s I saw in there that were, you know, well over $1,000. So this is a book that is going to continue to get expensive, especially as it gets closer to the release of the movie and they release a trailer. You know, this book is probably going to get a lot hotter. But what you could also do too is you can also pick up her second appearance, which is a lot more affordable, which is the Atom. And I think it was number 22. Let's see if I'm right about this. Yeah, it's an older book, The Atom. I think it was number 22. Was her second appearance. Let's see here. Yeah, sorry guys, I should have been a little bit more prepared. I'll type in I thought I was correct about that. Yeah, here it is. Number 19, excuse me. Yeah, number 19. So that is the second appearance of Zatanna. A little bit more affordable of a book. I think I've seen some sales in the $50 to $100 range. So that's probably what I'm going to try to focus on, to see if I can find a decent grade copy of her second appearance. Definitely more affordable than her first appearance. And that could be a book that gets a lot more expensive when they release a trailer. So that's kind of my, you know, long-term spec play would be maybe the Atom number 19, you know, see if you can pick up a nice copy of that. It's an older book, 1965, yeah, so to find, you know, it's a solid Silver Age book. To find that in high grade is going to be challenging to some degree, but it's certainly more affordable than her first appearance. So, you know, if you can't afford the first appearance, you know, it's a good idea to try to get a second appearance or a cameo if there is one. But that's what I'm going to try to do, to see if I can pick up a decent copy of her second appearance. So that was kind of it. I just wanted to shoot a quick video on some books I picked up, and especially those books I got at that local shop. I was really, really happy to find those books. You know, just that one copy of Batman that I've already sold paid for all the other ones. So, you know, it was really kind of a nice little afternoon. I had a couple hours to burn, and I was productive with it. You know, I found some cool things. So, yeah, that was it, guys. I'll have my video out on Wednesday highlighting the new comic books that are coming out for the following week. And then, of course, look for another video of mine either late Friday or early Saturday morning on the top 10 list that comes out every week from CBSI, comicbookinvest.com. I'll be highlighting their top 10 list and giving you my opinions on that. Let me know what you think, guys. I appreciate your comments. If you haven't already, please hit the bell for notifications. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And also, please leave a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts and what you thought of this video and some of the things I talked about and some of the books I highlighted. Yeah, everybody have a great week, and I will see you again on Wednesday. Thanks.